Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Alan Wake. Let's get into it. So I'm guessing the power is out. It's looking pretty out. Ooh. Okay, we got more stuff to watch out for than just Axe Boys. The crow's gonna come back? They are. Let's get inside. Or should we go see about the generator? It's still clonking away in there, isn't it? So the problem is not with that. Well, great. If it's not the generator, then what am I going to do about this?
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Keep going. Wake up.
Alice?
Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
And your luggage is in the car?
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
I think he's the least of our problems right now.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
And I see something shiny on the back of that deer.
Damn.
Bye, car. Didn't need you anyway. Alright, so are we going to learn what happened in between diving into the water and crashing the car? Or is that just going to be a little gap in our memory that leads us eventually to question whether any of this actually happened at all?
Hello? Is someone there?
The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
And Q Axe Murderer. So our page is some kind of collectible that I'm going to have to deal with?
Departure by Alan Wake. The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
Alan, I hate to say this, but if you wrote that, you might be a hack. Anyway, let's keep moving. And cue the Axe Murderer. Any second now. There he is.
There? Please! I've been in an accident!
When's he gonna come for me? Stop it.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
What relationship is there between lights and a phone. Take a helmet, Alan. You need a helmet. Take that bleach, too. Honestly, we could use whatever we got right now. Well, there's somebody out
Anybody
here.
there? Please.
Somebody
I've been in an accident.
or something.
Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help. Listen,
Deposit.
I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in...
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey.
Pleased
To meet you. Non-refundable
reservation
deposit required. Fair and square.
Alan, revolver. Give me that. Don't give me that. So am I just supposed to avoid this guy? Piece of coffee. I mean, obviously I'm supposed to avoid him because I don't have any weapons. And I don't even have my flashlight out, so... what if I go this way? Well, that way's not going to work out. Man, he's so mad that I didn't arrive, but it's not even my fault.
You lose?
the deposit.
It's the latest thing!
Kill?
2 birds,
Incontestably
proven health!
blessings.
The sights,
Keep those
cholesterol. Great!
fall.
I had
Here's
to figure
Johnny.
a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
Well, at least you finally clued in, Alan. Bro, you already had a flashlight, didn't you? And why did you not take all those batteries?
During your trying,
Walking.
it's the latest thing.
Yes.
Testably.
Proven.
Sheriff Station. Oh, may I?
Of course.
Stone.
You can see the sights and cholesterol.
This is bad.
Where's he coming? Alan, maybe you should... Oh, okay, we'll just bail. Yeah, out we go. No problem. Am I gonna have to compete with that thing? And how many missables am I about to miss?
The bulldozer had gone over the cliff with the office. I hoped Stucky had suffered the same fate, but I wasn't planning on staying to find out.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be that lucky, my dude. But I also don't think it matters much. There's gonna be more where Stucky came from.
There were more of them.
Come on this way.
My head pounded with the concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
Well, I'm pretty sure if there's no body that you didn't kill anyone. I think that's how it works. And this is a game where we kick electrical panels for funsies.
The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
Grab these. And let's see what this is about. Something tasty and secret.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
Flare gun. Alright. No flares, but better than not having a flare gun. Is there stuff back here too? Nope. Alright, let's check out that manuscript page that we haven't read yet.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter.
Alright, I like that page better than the previous one. Maybe you just need to warm up a little bit. Man, there's a lot of equipment out here.
It's rabbit season.
It's duck season. And they throw stuff too. Isn't that great? Oh, why did I have the flare gun equipped? Not cool. Man, can you imagine somebody putting out ammunition in an emergency box? Just be like, yeah, this is for anybody who needs it to use in an emergency. Not in this day and age. It makes me uncomfortable how far off to the side Alan is. Oh. Why am I missing so many pages?
Rose knew she had been gushing, but right now she didn't care. As far as she was concerned, her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high point of her life. She watched as he got in the car with his wife. She was pretty, confident, at ease with Wake. Not like Rose. They were perfect for each other. She'd have given anything to be called their friend.
All right, Alan. Dial it back a little. I mean, Stephen King at least had the dignity, humility to make himself not the main character. I mean, I guess he made himself God instead. But it was like, he was a fragile God. He needed to be protected. So, but yeah, he still wasn't the main character, so I'm gonna stick to my guns on that one. Alan, I don't think this is working out very well. Is that lady gonna, like, turn around and bend over backwards like Deadly Premonition? So I liked those guys. That was a deeply weird game,
When I
but I
saw
don't know.
the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
The water looks weird anyway. Uncoiled itself. You got a snake in your head, Alan? Snake for brains? This is tough logging territory. What good is coffee? Why do I have it? Is it health? I don't like that. Coffee's gross. No, you're wrong. Yeah. Did you see a little prompt pop up for a second there? I saw a prompt. So over here, we've got another page. Great, so I've missed like a big old stack of pages here.
Barry Wheeler was bouncing off the walls. He jumped on a plane after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon, but Barry didn't buy it. Al had been way too unstable for that, not sleeping, messed up. Barry had years of experience dealing with Alan Wake, and he couldn't ignore it. Something was wrong.
Barry sounds like he might actually be a good friend. That calling every 5 minutes thing might not be so bad after all. Right up until Barry gets taken.
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
I like how these guys are just like really aggressively saying totally mundane stuff. It adds a little something to the experience. Alright, let's get in there. What's this? Oh, I looked at that. Okay, Stucky, come out and play. There you are. If I kite him a little bit. No, no throwing. Alright, I guess I need to start paying attention to that so I can dodge. Good thing I got plenty of coffee. Man, what is it with these games and people throwing melee weapons? Like, axes don't just grow on trees, man. In fact, axes and trees have sort of an antithetical relationship, now that you mention it. Up the ladder? Okay. Who is leaving me these little sorkrits? The Taken are filled with darkness.
Taken.
Taken by the darkness. Oh, come on, that looks like a thing. Why is it breathing in here? Am I gonna get a melee weapon? I could go for a melee weapon. Alright, so it looks like health recharges outside of combat. That's nice. So I assume that means that when I'm really hurting, I can suck down a coffee and refill in combat. Okay, so it wasn't the yellow pink place that was breathing. It's probably all
The
stuck.
staircase was broken. I had to make my way up some other way.
Well, maybe we just need to get our light friend to come back. Fine, pick up the other thing. Huh? Pick up the other thing. Oh, they're full too. Okay.
There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging site.
Is that a power cable, or is it a tram, or is it both? Because that's a really good idea. Give me that coffee. Not so I can drink it, just so I can pour it on the ground and ruin everybody else's day. that would be another
With
funny
all this
mod.
forestry equipment around, there had to be something I could use to reach the top.
You heal by just dumping out a thermos full of coffee on the ground. Okay, it would be nice if I could... Come on, why are you not... Okay, one down. What you got? Anything? And we're done. And we're not done. Suddenly, the Alan walking noises sound like they're not inside my headphones. And I don't like that. Yep, we have the power on, and now we can ride the weird little tram thing. Shotgun. We'll switch back to the revolver this time so we don't waste our ammo. Oh, are they just out of order? Nice.
I heard them before I saw them, swooping down from the sky and screeching as they came. I spun around just as the cloud was upon me. For an instant, I stared into 100 dead eyes, black pearls glittering in the darkness. I raised the flashlight and the swarm exploded like fireworks. Feathers burned, turned into ash. I couldn't hear my scream above theirs.
It was somewhat less dramatic when it actually happened. Does Alan know that we're reading these pages? And if so, why hasn't he figured out what's going on yet? I mean, I know it was spoiled for us because we played Control, but even so, they're not being subtle. Oh, and we got a little safe light. Probably gonna shut off. So... Oh, I see. Yes. Now I've got a bridge from a log pile to another log pile. Are you excited to meet Director Faden, Alan? Because I'm super excited for you to meet her. She does all kinds of weird stuff. And she hangs out in a weird place.
Well, I was just outside for a breath of fresh air, and what a night. I know most of you are probably in your beds by now, but if you're still up and around, take a moment. Step outside for a spell and breathe in deep. The weather is absolutely still. The sky is crystal clear. It's like the forest is quietly breathing along with you. As you listeners know, I'm a night owl, and it's on nights like this I wish I wasn't cooped up in the studio. Makes an old man like me wish I could just roam wild. But here I am, and it would keep you company all night long if I weren't. It looks like I'm not the only one staying up late. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat, it's Maurice Horton.
Hello, Maurice. What are you up to?
Well, I was just taking Toby on his walkies.
Oh, isn't it beautiful out there?
Sure, but Pat, the reason I called is that Toby heard something rustling in the undergrowth and took off after it, and I couldn't find it.
Probably a rabbit.
Sure. Toby loves rabbits.
Well, sure.
Anyway, I figured that, if anyone runs into Toby, they could grab him. My number's on his collar.
And Toby's a friendly dog?
Oh, Toby loves people. Usually he comes back, but we were pretty far from home, and it sounds like he went pretty wild there. Great dog, but he's just too dumb for his own good.
Well, Maurice, it's out there now. Hope Toby comes home soon.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
You have a good night now.
I'm gonna get in a fight with Toby. Sucks. Another page. Sometimes they're out of the way, and sometimes they'd bite you if they were snakes.
At
All right,
first,
Alan,
I
you
kept
gotta
finding
figure it
the
out.
pages as if by accident. The book I couldn't remember was either a terrible and true prophecy or an act of creation that had rewritten the world. I began to hunt the pages feverishly, for they held the answer to the mystery. With it, I could save myself. With it, I could save Alice.
And still he has nothing to say for himself.
The gas station was closer now, its light welcoming in the darkness.
Paul makes the best dogs in the state.
Oh yeah, Stucky, that's a thing, huh?
Best with no contest. Monster dog is second best. The famous dog is...
Good point, buddy. I agree with it. No need to get all axe murdery about this. Oh, those aren't even my guys. Don't get flanked. Those guys interrupt me while I'm trying to get places, and then I can't get places.
I stepped into the gas station's garage. It was dark and quiet. The place was a mess. It looked like someone trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight. Light spilled into the room through an open door at the back, and I made my way toward it. Without any warning, I was blinded by a bright light. An old portable TV on the shelf had come alive by itself. Impossibly, I could see myself on the screen, talking like a madman.
But actually, it was you inside the TV. And the you that you thought was inside the TV was outside the TV. Actually a madman. Whoa. That was a weird little hitch. Don't need batteries because I'm not using them. Is there more stuff down there? There's probably more stuff, isn't there? Screw it. I'm not worried about stuff. I'm sure I'll be sorry about that later. I do care about special paint. Special paint, big deal. So that's like a torch icon. A torch as the light against the darkness. And it's breathing again. It's breathing a lot.
Truck salad, no. A man like me needs a half steam. That's for the day.
And any moment now, we're going to have a little Indiana Jones moment. There it is. Oh, maybe not. You know what? I shouldn't have done that. Could have taken those guys without the flare. That was a waste. Ominous.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help, but I couldn't tell her the truth of what I'd faced the previous night. She'd think I was lying or crazy. She'd lock me up, and she wouldn't help me find Alice.
All right. And with that, we are out of time for episode 2. So come back and see me again in episode 3 for more unanswered questions, I'm sure. Talk to you soon.